that's just a nice word for slaves. If you're a real cowboy and you've ever worked for an outfit, you kind of understand that word. It says, slaves, be obedient to those who are your masters, according to the flesh. Man, God expects us, there ain't no slavery no more. God expects us to put ourselves in a position of enough humility to serve as a slave. Oh, well, I ain't going to go preaching on that. That's not what I'm preaching about today. But be obedient with fear and trembling, in sincerity of heart, as to Christ. I mean, when that boss tells me something and he's a jerk, I know he ain't Christ. I'm supposed to act like I am following God's will, as long as what he's not doing, asking you to do is wrong, or she. Not with eye service, not with just, outward appearances, man pleasers, but as slaves of Christ, bondservants of Christ, doing the will of God from the heart, with goodwill, doing service as to the Lord. Not just out of slavery, but out of relationship. And not to man, knowing that whatever good anyone does, he will receive the same from the Lord, whether he's a slave or free. Remember something here. You're not going to get anything necessarily good out of being a great servant to anybody, because you can't guarantee the response of the other person. I'm going to tell you something about church service here real quick. I see people who serve in the church, and I love that. But I also see a danger forming whenever I see somebody doing stuff in a church. Well, I say, what do you mean? You're going to be underappreciated. Then you're not going to get all of the kudos and appreciation that you want out of humans. You're not. You're not. You're going to have your feelings hurt in church. You're going to be slighted. You're going to have human, imperfect relationships in church. And here's what's going to happen. You're going to say, you know what, after all I've done, after everything I've done, I ain't going back to that church no more. And people there, a bunch of jerks. I ain't going to. Then you go to the next church. Guess what's going to happen? Pretty soon you're going to, I've done all this stuff for them people, and they didn't do everything for me. I saw this cartoon one time where the hospital visits is one of the worst things a preacher get in trouble for missing. And sometimes you miss them. And if you're a cowboy preacher, you're really in trouble because you're busy doing all kinds of crazy stuff and you don't get everything done and you're doing something else. Cowboy preachers are worse about it, actually. But it's a deal. It's a cartoon. This pastor's laying in the hospital. He's about dying. And his church members are there. And they're sitting next to the hospital bed. And they said, preacher, our sister's been in this hospital for 3 weeks. And we've been right down the hall and haven't gone to visit her yet.
Yeah. That's good.
We ain't going back to your church no more. You see what I'm saying? I'm not just whining for me. Okay? I'm also whining for you. And then I'm also telling you, at some point we're going to have to get over the whining. Because everything that we do, and here's what God's going to do. Here's what God's going to do. Watch this. Everything that I do for man, and God's getting funny about this, He's going to make me feel less appreciated than I want to feel. Why? So at the end of the day, I'm not doing stuff just to please man. And then He looks up and says, well, hey, look, what if everybody in the world hates your guts? Would you do what I asked you to do for me? Not for the church, not to make everybody happy, but because I am serving Him. And then at that point, you start to get a breakthrough. I no longer expect to be patted on the back.